All right, hey everyone, how's it going? Just wait a minute for everyone to start trickling in. So, how's everyone's week been? Have you been enjoying Global Hack Week or not? All right, so if y'all can hear me, just type one, just so I know I'm not like muted or something. Okay, cool. Well, to start off, I guess I'll just introduce myself. So, who even am I? So, hi, my name's Zane. I'm a new coach at MLH. So I've been involved with MLH and hackathons for like 5 years right now. But I'm a coach. I was selected as one of the top 50 for 2021. Um, I'm the director of VTX, so that's the longest running hackathon at Virginia Tech, and our 10th anniversary is actually coming up this year. So that'll definitely be interesting. I'll have to think of some cool things for that. If you guys do have any ideas on like cool things you might want to see at a hackathon or like cool swag ideas, feel free to hit me up in chat. Just because I want to do something really special, and I don't want to just like make like a cheap branded pen that someone's just gonna toss out. I want them to be like good. So yeah, feel free to hit me up with your suggestions. So yeah, just to give a bit of a timeline. So basically, for the first little half, I'm probably just going to do a light Q&A. So just if you guys have any questions about anything, then we're going to get into the computer vision workshop. So just like showing a few different applications of machine learning using Python. Um, then some more Q&A, and then I might do something to I guess chill out a little bit, just because I know it's been a long week for y'all, and it's over the weekend, so I imagine a lot of you guys don't want to do something super intensive. So I'm actually a competitive Pokemon player, so I might show y'all how to play some competitive Pokemon if we have time. So yeah, I guess so just hit me in chat if you have any questions about me or the workshop, machine learning. But let's talk a little bit more about myself. So right now I'm actually in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So I'm doing an internship this summer with General Mills as a software developer. So I'm making a new feature for one of their brands, and I'm using machine learning and computer vision to do that. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I get tons of free cereal. So I'm slowly running out of pantry space. So I need to buy a lot more milk just because I have so much. We even actually have like a cereal bar where it's just like a thing that you pull, and you get cereal, and we have like a refrigerator, that kind of thing too. So it's definitely pretty exciting sometimes. All right, and I guess as always, some yeah. So how did you get into MLH? Um, well, it's kind of interesting actually. So my high school didn't have a great CS program. I think there were two CS classes. It was not very many at all. So I started a programming club just because I didn't see anything like that there. And one of the things I was trying to do was think of activities everyone could do, just like club activities. And then I came upon hackathons and then eventually like MLH. My first hackathon was probably Hackathon, which was a smart cities hackathon at George Washington University. It was really cool. I was really surprised by like all the people I got to meet. You know, all the different companies. You know, the like experience of programming, that kind of thing. So I got really into it after that. Um, and eventually, especially in COVID, I started mentoring a lot of hackathons, doing a lot of mentoring and judging different events. And then eventually, I started organizing hackathons, so VTX, and then yeah, and then I eventually became the director, which I am now. Um, yeah, and then I applied to be a coach, and here I am. Yeah, let me get y'all the check-in link. Yep, thank you for providing that. Yeah, that's basically how I've gotten started. And I'd say most of my work is in Python, machine learning, data science, like that kind of realm. I do a lot of NLP work. Um, I guess like some of the things that I'm like currently working on are just like quantum computing, just like in my free time and learning about that. And I'm pretty sure you guys had a workshop this past week actually about that, so that's really cool to see. And outside of that, I'm working on inventing my own programming language. So that's definitely more of a long term goal, just because I need to figure out what that even is. But I'm trying to make something that's either suited towards like being used for machine learning or being or suited towards quantum computing. So yeah, that's something I'm still working out, but it's definitely been a lot of fun and a lot of work just learning how to do all of that. But yeah, let me share my screen. Yeah, essentially, what we're going to be doing is what you're going to need is, well, Python, which you can simply download from python.org. I'll just share links. So you can just go on there and click downloads, and then the most recent version, which I think is 3.10.5, will be available, so you can just download it. And that comes with pip, which is important because you can use it to download packages and things like that. Just trying to get all my windows set up and everything. So yeah, and what I'm using is Visual Studio. So Visual Studio is mainly what I use for most of my work, at least at my internship. Um, I just think it's definitely useful. There's also PyCharm and things like that. You can download those from their respective websites. And yeah, I guess I can just get into it. And of course, you know, as we're going, you can just put questions in the chat. Um, All right, so first what I'm going to do is create a new environment. Environments are just very useful because if you're developing different things all the time, it's useful to just have a specific environment where you have installed all the packages that you need for that project. So it's not like jumbled everywhere. That's fine. Yeah, and so for most of the things in this workshop, we're going to be using um, Opencv. So basically, it's a Python package that has a lot of useful tools for machine learning and especially computer vision. It's very simple because I don't want to overwhelm y'all. So it's going to be stuff that's pretty short in terms of like actually like implementing that kind of thing. All right, cool. Come on. So the first part of any Python project is just importing necessary packages. In this case, we're just going to be needing CV2, which is Opencv. Let's create a method. And let me get some folders I have prepared just so you have access to those. Just trying to find where my repo is installed. Okay, I think that'll make it a little bit easier to see. Okay, so now you should be able to see if you click this button right here, it'll show you things in your project that it'll show you all the different folders in your project. So if you just recently added something, you can just right click and then include in project, just so that's part of that. Let's see, first we'll just define what our image is. And then you can use cv2.imread to just read the image. And then this basically just turns it into grayscale for the purposes of the face chip, and just so it's easier, like colors aren't getting in the way of like creating like bounding boxes on like what it thinks is a face. And then let's detect the faces. And this is what I'm going to be using, which is the face cascade part of Opencv. Let's actually create available. See, and then the color scale is gray. Scale factor. Put that 1.2. Then these we don't care about too much. So we're just going to use the defaults on the documentation. And then we're going to, and then there's actually what we want it to be printing. So in this case, let's just print and the number of faces. And there's the actual drawing of the rectangle. Was it cv2.cv2? I think that's because it's just the specific version of OpenCV, because I think there's a difference between OpenCV for Python 2 and then what we're using Python 3 right now. So I think it might have just been a semantic change from when they updated for that. But now let's create our bounding boxes. Width and the height. And then we're going to use cv2.rectangle. Use our x and our y. This is just we make an exact bounding box around just a specific part of the face. And this is just making it green. So these are just the RBG values right here. I think actually be like that actually. Yeah, and by the way, you can use, well, you can just highlight and then tab to tab, and then you can use shift tab to untab. It's just very useful. And then we're actually just going to show the image. So cv2 dot show. And then we're just going to make it wait until we press a key. And then to actually run it, I like doing it this way, where we do if underscore name equals underscore main. It's just very useful if you're like you have like a large project and you just want to test one specific script within that. You can just use this, so when it's the only thing that's running, it just runs this specific part of the code. And I have a image that I want to use. So this is where I put the path of the image and the path of my data. All right, let's try to run it. So there is an error. Oh, forgot to put the comma. Try rerunning that. Oops. Type that there. Let's try to fix this. Okay, there we go. So I think the issue might have been it was like installing it, but not to the environment that we created. Okay, there we go. All right, now let's try this again. Oh. Takes 2 arguments, but I didn't put them in there. Let's try this one more time. All right, let me try and Google this. Okay, I think you might have been right about that. Might have been misremembering. honestly, in my job, this is half the programming. Is just Stack Overflow and figuring out these kinds of small things, and eventually you just figure out that it was like a missing comma or something like that stupid. Okay, might just be Cascade then. Ooh. Let's see, faces. And while I'm doing this, you guys can feel free to ask any like just questions. Okay, thank you, person in chat. I also just missed that S right there. Let me try and share the other screen. All right, and this is the output we kind of are getting, which, so I'm just using this like sample kind of image, just with a bunch of different faces. And you notice there's someone sus among us. This guy does not appear to be recognized by it. That being said, this is a very simple implementation, so sometimes it might not work. You might want to scale back the scale factor. Sometimes, excuse me, that messes with the face detection. Let me try it with another image. See how that goes. I think I have the second one. And this is the other one. So this is the other image I had, and I wanted to see if it would think that the mannequin had a face, and it does. So that is the other thing, is with so sometimes when you see some implementations of computer vision, like the face detector, for example, they're pretty small in terms of size to implement, but then there's these like large neural networks that are very complicated to create. This is one of those reasons. It thinks this mannequin's, I don't know, it doesn't think the chin is the part of the face. I don't know, but it thinks it's a face. So that is another thing that's pretty funny. Let's see, what else can we do? Maybe we can try some image manipulation. Let's just add, oops. Hmm. All right, now let's try some image manipulation. So there's all different kinds of image manipulation you can do, especially with Opencv. Let's see. First, let's import an image. Let's see, what images do I have in here? Try the first one, that would be interesting. And as always, if you're confused about anything, feel free to just because odds are, if you have a question, someone else has the exact same question too. See. All right, now let's do our first implementation. I think someone asked again if there's swag. I know there's stickers if you sign up via the swag form on the website for Gone Hack or Global Hack Week, but I'm not sure about t-shirts. I'm pretty sure they're revealing the mascot tomorrow, though. And then cv2.cvcolor is going to be our best friend here. And again, me personally, I just like if underscore name equals underscore main for running my stuff for tests. So let's try running this and see what we get. Oh, then first we got to change our main. Why is it showing that image? Yeah, I thought it said to one. Try something else. Let's try instead doing grayscale. I think that'll be more interesting. So instead of RBG should be gray. And then the color map, we'll set that to gray. Try doing it this way. See if that works better. You're right, it is BGR. That's my mistake. Let's see if I can figure this out. Okay, there we go. Share this. Why is this not sharing? Okay, I'll just share my screen. So this is what it comes to. So yeah, that's just one way. You can use cv2.color to do a lot of different things. Actually, there's a lot of image manipulation techniques you can do. And now for the rest of this workshop, because I think we only have like 30 minutes left. Let me just double check though. Yeah, we only got like 30 minutes left. I don't want to do something like super similar to that, or I'm not sure if there's something we can do in that amount of time that's like interesting. So I think instead, here's what I'll do. Let me try and share this screen. Okay, there we go. So this is just something fun we're gonna do. So this is Pokemon Showdown. So it's essentially, so I play competitive Pokemon as I mentioned in the beginning, and basically this is what I use to team build, to practice, that kind of thing. So yeah, let me actually show off the team builder. And yeah, we'll make a team and maybe play a match. And yeah, I'll just show you a bit about what competitive Pokemon is about. So there's all these. So basically, the current game, which is the newest game, Sword and Shield, has a bunch of different tiers from OU to Little Cup. Is generally seen as the lowest, like one that matters. These are basically tiers based on popularity. So OU has the Pokemon that are the most picked. Ubers is mainly like legendaries, and then going from UU to LC, which is a Little Cup. It's basically just Pokemon with lower and lower usage rates. So that's this favorite Pokemon, probably Skarmory or some dark types. I love me some dark types. I'm also a fan of Murkrow, which isn't super popular because it isn't good, but I believe in it. So there you go. So now we got all these Pokemon that we could potentially choose from. And what I typically do when I want to build a team, I usually think about like one or two Pokemon that I want to build around. So what is the Pokemon you guys really like, or you would want to see like used like competitively, or even just like your favorite Pokemon? That's probably a better question, actually. Guess I'll just add my favorite to start off, and then I'll just add Pokemon based on what people in chat seem to like. So starting with Skarmory. So usually you want to have a pretty balanced team depending on what you're trying to go for. So with Skarmory, Skarmory is very defensive. So if you look at its base stats, so this basically determines like what it's going to be best at. So and this is the base stat at level 100. So this is just what the what its end stats are going to be. So it has really high defense, and that's the main thing going for it. So first, I just like to max out HP usually, just because that contributes towards its defense and special defense. Its special defense is its weak point, so you don't want it to like take a flamethrower and just instantly die. So I usually like to have mine with some defense, and then even impish nature. So natures are basically just a part of a Pokemon that basically boosts one stat and decreases another. So for this one, special attack is something I'm not going to use because it's not much of an attacker to begin with, and also it's not going to be using anything like that. Its attack is much higher. So I don't really care about that, so I want to raise defense, lower special attack. Then there's the item. So items do all sorts of different things. Ones that are really good on tanks are leftovers. So that just, at the end of every turn, it restores 1/16 of your HP. And then out of these abilities, I'd say Sturdy is pretty good. So Sturdy just means when you would take if you're at full HP, if you would take an attack that would instantly kill you, you instead survive with 1 HP. So that's really good. The Skarmory has great utility. So let me first put in what I would use. Boost, AP, Roar, maybe Body Press. So to give an idea of what my moves do, so first are spikes. Spikes are really important in the metagame. So right now, basically, you would use spikes as an entry hazard. So basically, every time a Pokemon switches in and out, when a Pokemon switches in, it will take spikes damage when it comes in. And that's really useful because Pokemon switch a lot in this game. Roost is just a healing move. And then it removes your flying typing until the end, which you don't entirely need to care about. It's mostly just that, it's basically just a heal move. So for longevity, basically. Roar is really good because it pairs with spikes. So it's useful in a few situations. One is just for chip damage. So you roar a Pokemon out, and then when the next one comes in, it'll take spikes damage. Or if you predict that someone's going to switch, let's say someone has a Pokemon that Skarmory just does really well against, like it can't get past its like defense, or maybe it's like a ground type. It doesn't have much for flying types, and you think it has to switch out. Use Roar. So basically, when it switches out, it takes spike damage. You use Roar, then it switches in another Pokemon, and that takes spike damage. And at that point, your opponent has one of two options. They can either just stay in and try to attack that new Pokemon, or they can try and switch again. In which case, you can do the same thing and just roar. That's very fun. It can be funny sometimes. Then there is Body Press, which is basically it uses defense stat in its calculation as its attack. So its attack right now isn't great, just 80, but its defense we've missed a lot in. So it'll basically use that 369 defense as its attack. And let's see. Zapdos is really nice. Fortunately, Dodrio isn't in this game. Fix it. Gyarados. Feel, sure. So let's start off with Zapdos. So Zapdos has a lot of things going for it. It's a very good defensive type because Flying has some weaknesses, but it has a ground immunity, and ground is very good, so that's useful. But electric type, its only weakness is ground, so it doesn't have it. Basically, flying typing basically mitigates that weakness that it has. So I usually make my Zapdos to be a bit bulky. Roost is definitely good for that. I like Thunder Wave just so you can paralyze an opponent. So that basically means their speed is now half of what it is, or it might be a third. I'm not sure, but I think it's half, which is really good because you have so Skarmory is it's a bit slower. It's more bulky. If they have a sweeper, so like a really fast Pokemon, that's really good. So you can basically just cripple them. So now they have a chance of not moving at all. but also you move before them, which is really useful because then these Pokemon do a lot of damage. Let's see. Heat Wave is good for coverage. And Volt Turn or Volt Switch is good. So it's an electric type attack for one, but also when you use Volt Switch, you switch out. So basically, let's imagine a scenario where like a Pokemon hits Zapdos or switches in on Zapdos. So since Volt Switch is a move, it's better as a means of switching a lot of the time compared to just switching out. Because if you normally switch out, maybe your opponent switches in their Pokemon, and then you switch in yours, but maybe it isn't in your favor. But when you use Volt Switch, you see because switching always comes first. So they switch out, and then you see what they swapped into. So now you can Volt Switch and maybe go to Gyarados, which has a better matchup, and then you are now in the advantageous position. And yeah, you can do tons of stuff. I usually like running a little bit of speed on mine, just because base 100 speed is definitely pretty nice. Something like that. Yeah, that's essentially what Zapdos is about. Gyarados, I like this set. So you can tell that I play a lot of competitive Pokemon cards just because if I look at a Pokemon, I kind of just know what it does. But yeah, Gyarados is very good. It can be a very good sweeper. So, prediction. So Dragon Dance boosts its attack and speed by 1. So that makes it. And when I say it boosts, so stat raises are by 1.5 times. So it'll have 1.5 times this attack that it has now. And then if we use Dragon Dance again, it'll have double the attack of what this is, its base attack. So Waterfall is very good. Earthquake is good because let's say your opponent switches into maybe like a Steel type, which doesn't really care about your water moves. You have a coverage move, so that basically you can account for Pokemon that might just take its water attacks completely fine. And you usually use something like Ice Fang, Iron Hand. It depends on what you want to use, really, or what fits your team. Power Up is also good because not a lot of Pokemon have like a grass move that's like very strong. So Dugtrio, I like Dugtrio as a revenge killer. So basically, its ability Arena Trap is really, really good because what Arena Trap does is it prevents your opposing Pokemon from switching out. So let's say your opponent had like a Raichu or something, or like a Blissey. Let's say their Blissey used Fire Blast on your Skarmory, now it's dead. So now you switch into Dugtrio because of Arena Trap they can't switch out. Focus Sash, it's basically sturdy but in item form. So basically, if you would be taken out from full HP, you survive with 1 HP. So it's really good just so you can at least get something off. I usually like Earthquake. You can use Stone Edge. You can use Stealth Rocks. So if your opponent can't do much to Dugtrio initially, you can just get your rocks up. So Stealth Rocks is basically something similar to Spikes, it's an entry hazard. And yeah, you can use Sucker Punch. Oops. Stone Edge. Oh, wait. And Sucker Punch is basically a priority move. So normal moves are 0 priority. So they just happen based on speed, who's faster. But priority 1 moves basically almost always go first. So that's really good because it doesn't matter about your speed. And then there's priority 2 moves and 3, it just goes up and up. So the really good thing about Dugtrio is that it is very fast. Base 120 speed is a very good tier. Speed is really, really important in Pokemon. So I usually like to run mine with full speed investment and then attack, just to maximize it so that Dugtrio is going to outspeed something. So in that previous scenario where Blissey knocked out your Skarmory, you just take it out with Earthquake. And let me actually see if we can just play a little game. And this is just random battles, so this is completely random Pokemon. So I don't know what any of these are going to be. But let's see about what we try to do. So right now the opponent has a Kingdra, just a Water Dragon. It's very good offensively, but its base stats are kind of mediocre without Rain. I'll go into Golisopod because it has okay special defense, and I don't think it has something super effective against me. And they go into Crocodile. So this is a pretty good matchup because both Water is good against Ground, Bug is good against Dark, and Crocodile is a Ground Dark type. So I can start off by... Well, here's the thing. I could go for Liquidation because, it's a super effective move, but I could go for Spikes because I think they're going to switch out or set up their own rocks. Yeah, so if they had switched out, I would have just gotten those up for free. So now I can see if I can Liquidation. Yep, they switched out. And now I'm in a more dangerous position because Tapu Koko outspeeds me and probably just one-hit KOs me. Don't have some amazing options, but actually, I can see its max speed that it can have if you have full investment is 248. So I know my Serena right here has a Choice Scarf, and Choice items are really good because basically they lock you into using only one move, the first move that you pick, but you get a base 1.5 times boost your speed. So now I'm in the advantageous position because Grass resists Electric, and now I can probably take them out. Don't have amazing moves, but yep, Power Up takes it out. So we're 6 versus 5 right now. And yeah, as always, if you guys have questions while I'm playing right now, just feel free to just mention them in chat, whether it's about me, computer vision, Pokemon, literally anything. About being in the top 50, organizing hackathon, whatever. Now this is Snorlax. And because Snorlax is a normal type, I'll go into Aegislash because it's a ghost, so it might just not hit me. Yep, and it didn't hit me. And now I have a few options. So, so this Snorlax, it can't hit me right now, but it might have a dark move. It might have Darkest Lariat or something else. But I think I'll just go for Close Combat, just because it might switch into Crocodile, or it might just stay in. And I don't KO it, but I'm close. Yeah, I just get taken out. So I could have Swords Dance there. I might have survived that. But now I have a free switch because my Pokemon fainted. So I can just go into Golisopod. I can First Impression, because if it switches into Crocodile, I can just take it out. Yeah, or just do that. Now it's looking pretty even right now. All right, so it's into Kingdra. So one thing that I'm kind of learning is that before his Kingdra switched out, So it didn't think it could do anything against me, but now he switched his Kingdra in. So that kind of tells me maybe this Kingdra has specs, like Choice Specs, which is like Choice Scarf, but it boosts special attack by 1.5 times. So now I'm thinking this Kingdra might be able to kill me because, it just came in on me. But either way, I think I'll go for Knockoff just to get off that item. Or it uses Rain Dance. Okay, so I had Life Orb. So that's really good because now it moves to 30% less damage. Because that's what Life Orb, the damage boost Life Orb gives. Let's see, I've tried a Liquidation. And then my Emergency Eggs activates, so that's Glisspod's ability. So when it goes under 50% HP, it just automatically switches out. So just go for Body Slam, just because it has Hurricane, so that'll do a lot of damage, but because I had a Berry, I don't die. Might have died that Hydro Pound, actually. But now it's Paralyzed, which is really good, because, it's still faster, because Green is super slow. But now I can actually KO it. So now it's 5-2-3. Now Komodo is very dangerous, because it has Clangorous Soul, which basically boosts all of its stats by 1. So all stats are by 1.5 times. So that can be dangerous. I might just sack Green here, just because I won't get a clean switch to another Pokemon. So I might just Body Slam, seeing if I can paralyze it, because if I paralyze it, that's very good. No, didn't get it. And because it's probably going to go first, I'll just pay back. But yep, Dynamaxed. Yep. Now I can go into my Sigilyph. I can max Mindstorm. Yep, so it doesn't take me out, and I take it out. Because it's a part fighting type, so it's weak to that. So now it's 4-2. So it sent out Crocodile. It'll probably be using a Dark move here, but I probably outspeed it, so I'll just go for Max Airstream just to get some damage off. Oh, and it dies because it had Life Orb. And now I'll go into Serena because I know it's fast, so it can probably outspeed whatever he has. So I'll just go for Power Up because that's a Seeking, it's Water type. And I win. Boom. So, because we only have a few minutes left, I'll show one other thing here. That is... I'll show Little Cup. It's just a team builder. So Little Cup is basically all Pokemon are level 5. They're all like unevolved baby Pokemon. And yeah, you just use them. So yeah, it might seem not very exciting at first, just because they're all just baby Pokemon. You think they might not do much, but because every Pokemon is level 5, it can actually be pretty interesting. They all actually get decent moves, so let's just put Magikarp in. Why not? Magikarp actually has Swift Swim, so it gets Hydro Pump. Okay, Magikarp gets nothing. But if you wanted to use a competitive Magikarp, you could Flail. Probably Choice Band Flail, or just Choice X Hydro Pump. I don't know, something like that. And then someone mentioned they like Charizard, so we use Charmander in Little Cup. So it has the hidden ability Solar Power. So if it's in the sun, it gets a 1.5 times boost to its special attack, and then it loses some HP per turn. So we can use Sunny Day to set that up, and then we want to just go in on those fire moves. And then I don't think this gets Solar Beam, does it? No, it doesn't. Normal Charizard gets Solar Beam, and that's very good because Fire Aggress is really good coverage. But let's see what special moves it has. Doesn't have a lot of amazing stuff. Or you could just Will-O-Wisp. So that can also be good. So Fire Blast, it could be... might just do Weather Ball. So Weather Ball, it'll become 100 power Fire type because you're going to be setting up the sun. And that's 100% accurate, so that's very reliable. And then you can use Overheat just as a one-time really big power move to just like take out the opponent. So yeah, that's kind of what Little Cup is about. It has a lot of similar strategies to like the evolved form of these Pokemon, but it can be very good. And one thing I'll also show is, so there's also past generations. So there's like the older Pokemon games people play, including me, in those older formats. So I really like them because sometimes they're a lot simpler, a lot more consistent. I also just like the metagame. So this is Generation 4. So this is Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, those games. So one thing I'll show is a very interesting strategy. So this is Roar Lucario. So how it works is I'll use Choice Scarf just so I can be very fast. Maybe Close Combat, Thunder Punch, maybe Bullet Punch if I want priority. So there's a lot of very offensive moves, has a lot of versatility, and Choice Scarf. But I'll also use Roar here. Or no, not Roar. Copycat. So Copycat, it basically copies the last move used in battle. So remember how I talked about Skarmory and how it can use Roar to basically switch you out into another Pokemon, then you might take Spike's damage. So Lucario is one check to this. Because what you can do is, because of Choice Scarf, you're probably going to be faster than whatever they have. You can copycat the Roar. And Roar is normally the thing that balances Roar, so you can't just keep roaring every single turn, is that Roar always has -6 or something priority. So how I mentioned priority before, higher priority goes first, negative priority goes last. So because it has negative priority, your opponent always gets to do something first whenever you use Roar. So if you use like Flamethrower, like you don't roar and then they switch out, they use Flamethrower and then you can roar. So that's how negative priority works. But Copycat ignores priority. So if your opponent's Skarmory just keeps like switching you out with Roar into Spikes and you're taking chip damage, what you can do is you can use Lucario. And you can, when Lucario comes in, if they roared in, you can use Copycat. And now you have something very interesting, because if you have your own Skarmory or a Pokemon with Spikes up, you can basically use a very fast Roar. So you can basically keep roaring your opponent out to different Pokemon, and they can't react to it. They can't do anything about it because they probably don't have something super fast. If you're like all speed investment. and that you can just keep roaming them out, and they take chip damage because you probably have stealth rocks and spikes. And Copycat is 32 HP, so you can do this for 32 turns, and you just keep roaring their Pokemon out. So it's not super consistent. It's more of a gimmick, but it's something I really like using because it can be very funny. All right, and I think we're basically up on time now. So, yeah, I think I'll just leave this last little bit. If anyone has questions about me, computer vision, Pokemon, what it's like to be a coach, being MLS Top 50, anything like that, just mention it in the chat. I'm pretty much down to answer anything, honestly. But yeah, thanks so much for coming. And yeah, hope y'all are enjoying Global Hack Week. Yeah, feel free to just mention anything in chat if you want me to answer any questions. Yep, thank you. I had plenty of fun too. I wanted to show some computer vision stuff. The more complicated stuff, it's hard for someone to just grasp if they've never really used computer vision or machine learning before. So I want something digestible. So the implementations I had were kind of simple, but it was purposefully like that. So I could at least have something you guys could show within like an hour. Yeah. Let's see. Trying to think of anything might be good to talk about. I mean, until someone has like a question to ask. Well, one thing I can think of is what is your opinion of pineapple on pizza? And I can guarantee you, no matter what side you're on, you're not gonna like my answer. Yeah, I just want to gauge the audience, see like how people are feeling about pineapple on pizza. No, okay, not getting ton of stuff in chat, but my opinion on pineapple on pizza is it's okay. I would never order it myself. If it's like on a pizza, I'm just at someone's place, just on the pizza, I'll probably eat it. Like, it's like whatever. I wouldn't order it myself. It's just way too sweet for me. If it's on a white sauce pizza, it's definitely better because it just goes a bit better with that. I still don't love it, but it's whatever. But with a tomato sauce pizza, it's just so sweet. Like I don't understand the appeal of it. Like, is it because I hear people say like it's the cheese that goes with pineapple? I don't think cheese goes with pineapple. I just don't. Yeah, it's just way too sweet for me, in my opinion. I don't like with tomato sauce or in general, but yeah. Yeah, I don't know. when people tell me they like pineapple pizza, I start questioning them. It's one of those things that people shouldn't do, but it's like you have one opinion on something, and now I kind of see you as that person who likes pineapple on pizza, and that basically informs me of what you like in general. um, yeah, I'm just not a fan. Let's see, any other opinions if people don't have like questions. Um, how about favorite ice cream flavor? So the one I have is actually kind of interesting. It's called Black Walnut. So I just had it in like I think it was like a Wegmans or something one time. It's just like one of the pints they had, but it's actually really good. It's not too sweet. It's a bit bitter. Not like coffee bitter, but just a little. Um, and yeah, it's one of those ice creams that like it's not super. You can't entirely tell if it's sweet or not sweet, and that's something I kind of love about it. So that's my interesting take on my favorite ice cream. And I guess outside of that, if I have any tips for y'all, because I think we're gonna basically just end soon. Is if I have any tips to anyone, I don't know, trying to do hackathons or anything like that. Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, I think the best part of hackathons, like the number one thing people get out of it, is connections, because you can win a bunch of hackathons, and that's amazing. That's really good. But at the end of the day, if you try and find or trying to find a job, in a lot of cases, the people that you'll find at hackathons, whether it's like a recruiter or I don't know, just like maybe one of the people you're working with on a team, you can get referrals. You can, someone like a recruiter likes you, they get you an interview because actually at VTX, what we did with one of our sponsors, which was Mantech, they did we had them do on-site interviews. So like hackers gave the resumes, and then on Sunday they picked out the ones they liked, and then they did on-site interviews while we were doing like judging and that kind of thing. So that can be really, really good. And I also know a bunch of people who literally like they just compliment someone or just talk to someone. Like I know one person, I think she just commented on someone's like lanyard that they had, and they were like, "Oh, I really like that." And then it was from a particular event, and then they started talking about it, and they're like, "Oh, by the way, we're working at this place. We're looking for software engineers." She's like, "Oh, cool. I am a new grad," and then she got a job because of that. So they're like some of the weirdest reasons people will get jobs is just because they talk to the right people at the right time. So yeah, unless people have any questions, I'm probably just gonna end it here. Yeah, this is supposed to be an hour and a half. But yeah, thanks so much for coming. And yeah, good luck with Global Hack Week. I'm pretty sure they're announcing the next year's mascot. Or are they announcing? It's something. I think. Okay, I think they're announcing something related to swag. Um, so yeah, have fun tomorrow, and yeah, I'll see you all around. So bye.